What's up, everybody? How's it going? My name is Tomdog247, and as always, I'm Tomdog all day and Tomdog all night. We got a great show here um, on this week's Channel X. Got a lot of fun here, and episode 3, kicking ass right here on YouTube. Not a big showing last week, but hey, we gotta did a lot of had a lot of fun with that one. Because it was a laid back episode. But this week we have a topic. We have a topic, and we're going to be talking about the Money in the Bank pay-per-view that's going to be on the WWE Network. So if you haven't gotten the WWE Network, then you might as well do so, because you're going to be missing out on a lot of stuff, and it's going to be worth the money that you paid for. Believe me. Before we get started, we're going to get things going. Drink of the night, finishing. I had one more bottle of beer, so I'm finishing that off. So that's our drink of the night. So, but yeah, we're going to be talking about the Money in the Bank pay-per-view. We're going to be I'm going to be delivering now my predictions on what's going to happen, and as well as read a buddy of mine's prediction on who's going to win. Before we do that, though, let's break out some news that just happened the other day. Shia LaBeouf was arrested for creating a scene at a Broadway show. Studio 54. He started creating a massive disturbance and totally uncalled for. And he was smoking and touching everyone's asses, whatever that is, and all that. He's what is going on with him lately? I mean, he attacked a home. He was harassing a homeless guy for claiming that the homeless guy stole his hat, and he was just going off on this guy. And then this incident at Studio 54, it's like, he's just getting himself into a lot of trouble these days. And I wonder if there's any connection between him and Mel Gibson, but that won't be true because of the fact that Shia LaBeouf hasn't made any anti-Semitic remarks about Jews. So, got the crazy part out, but I don't know. I really don't know. And you wonder why. And you wonder why that Michael Bay didn't call him back for the 4th film. And I'm glad, because it probably would have been a bad thing. It really would. But I'm glad that the new Transformers film is going to be taken off into a new direction. That took off into a new direction. I love it. Haven't seen the movie yet, but I've been hearing great reviews on it. And, basically because of the fact that a damn good actor, Mark Wahlberg, is kicking ass, and I actually like him in action films. I'm actually glad that he's doing very, very great when it comes to making action films. So I love it, and I know you all love it too. But just one time, I would just love to see him play a role in The Expendables. Sly, make it happen. Come on, there's going to be a 4th one coming out pretty soon. Even though the 3rd one hasn't even been out yet, and I'm actually looking forward to that, because I saw the first two, and first two were awesome. It just sucks that Bruce Willis is not going to be involved in this one. I think it's kind of a shame, but still going to do good. It really does. I really do think it's going to do well. Come on, third installment. Can't go wrong with that. And the Expendables has really been just that, expendable. Anywho, um, another wrestling news. There's been rumors, um, going around that there's been talk that actually it's not a rumor. It's actually actual talk that the Undertaker may not make it for WrestleMania 31 next year. Um, by now, everyone is aware of what happened to him at WrestleMania 30. I don't need to get into detail because Paul Heyman will do that on Monday. On Monday on the next installment of Monday Night Raw. Um, so we don't need to get into detail. Um, but yeah, he after suffering a really nasty concussion at WrestleMania, he it may not look like he's going to make it for 31. So, and even if he was, even if he was prepared to compete at Mania 31, why? And I'm not, I'm not saying that he shouldn't, but I mean, yeah, he shouldn't, but I'm not saying that he shouldn't in a malicious like, oh, I hate the Undertaker. I'm not saying stuff like that. Because I love the Undertaker. I mean, who doesn't love the Undertaker? I mean, come on. I mean, he's been in WWE in 1990. I mean, come on. You can't go wrong with that. I mean, he's done a lot for he's done a lot for the business. That's one of the reasons why I don't think he should compete. I mean, after suffering a loss at Mania 30, I mean, why would he go back to 30? Go back to compete at Mania 31? I don't think he should. I really don't think so. I mean, because where would you go with the Undertaker now that that the streak has been broken? Where would you go with that? There's nothing else to do. I mean, he's pretty much done everything that he possibly can working for Vince. And you got. I mean, he's held a number of titles, um, maybe 5 or 6 titles in his career. Um, he's also held. Um, I mean, he has a pretty good reputation of brought in the casket matches, the buried alive matches, um, the Inferno matches. I mean, he's one of the guys that competed in the. He was the first competitor in the Hell in the Cell against Shawn Michaels. Where would you go from there? Only one more place to go to take the Undertaker. That's the Hall of Fame. Nothing more you can do. Nothing more that you could do with with the Undertaker except put him in the Hall of Fame next year. That is the only way. But there's no confirmation on his condition until by the end of this year. So we will keep you posted on um, when any news comes up for all you Undertaker fans out there. Um, I will keep you posted as soon as I get some more info um, on what's going on. Um, this next topic, this next discussion is going to be about a rumor flying around, and that has to do with, excuse me, and that's involving SummerSlam. Um, apparently, Amazon did had had a SummerSlam box art for when this year's SummerSlam comes out on Blu-ray and DVD. And apparently now it's an alleged spoiler, but it hasn't been confirmed. It hasn't really officially been confirmed whether or not this box art is legit. Um, and the reason why I'm talking about it is because of the fact that um, I guess the box art contained John Cena holding the title, holding the championship, um, which possibly was going to spoil the Money in the Bank, you know, the match at Money in the Bank. But I'm not even spoiling it. Excuse me. I'm not spoiling it because, and it looks like it's not a spoiler at all, because when I checked out the Amazon website, the box art was just the SummerSlam logo, and that was it. Just the SummerSlam logo, and that's all they showed. They didn't have any of the box art that contained John Cena or any champion. So I guess WWE found out about it, and they told them to, hey, take that shit down, which I wouldn't blame them, because of the fact that you took out the I mean, because Amazon is assuming, because this is what I'm taking it as an assumption, that John Cena is going to win at the Money in the Bank pay-per-view. No. And my predictions will be coming up in just a few minutes. Also, I just want to point out that they released another member of the WWE family, and that was Josh Matthews. So you won't see him on the pre-show and the post show as well. You won't see that. So um it's gonna be very interesting to see who's going to take his place um alongside with Alex Riley and Booker T. We don't know who's going to do what. So it's going to be very interesting to see what's going to happen. And but I haven't heard anything about any matches for the pre-show. So, but you'll know on my Facebook page. I'm going to try this time to put the graphic on the bottom here, because I tried to do it on episode 2, but I don't know what the hell happened, and I couldn't post any of the graphics up. So I do apologize for that, but I'm going to try not to do that same mistake and make that same mistake again. I'm going to do some further editing before I actually promote it up, before I put it on the air. So this may take a while. So if this tape just happens to come up after the predictions, then you can just take it as a results show. So because of my predictions, I think they're spot on, and I haven't really told anybody. I even told my buddy. That I was going to give my answer on the show. I didn't want to spoil it for anybody. That I was actually going to have John come on here, my buddy John, to come on here and talk about this. Have a group, have like a discussion about it. Have like a side panel discussion. I think that would have been cool, but he's been feeling under the weather lately, and he's got other commitments to go to. So a little shout out to so, but but then it allows me to give the champ opportunity to sit down and hear what's on your mind. How you doing? So yeah, leave your predictions on the bottom here, and don't forget to hit like and subscribe. Um, I love to hear feedback because hey, this is your show, and I love to hear what's on your mind. You know. Also, if you have any other further questions or comments to make the show um at least watchable, feel free to post them in the comments below as well. Love to hear feedback, and I love feedback. It can, First Amendment, freedom of speech. You have a voice, use it. So, it's not just my show; it's your show, and that's what makes it great because this is kind of like a social thing. Before social media ever even came out, this my show on cable, this show that was once on cable access was the go-to place for social media before social media was interesting, before the Facebook and the Twitter. That in mind, and love to hear what you have. I love to hear what's on your mind, and let it be known. Let your voice be heard. Don't be shy. Have fun. So, all right. Now we come to the part of the show where I'm going to be doing my Money in the Bank complete card. These are my predictions, and like I said, if you have any of any predictions that you have, please post them. Please post them on the comments below. I love to hear. I really would love to hear what you would have to say on these predictions. And yes, I brought notes. And you say took 3 episodes just to have notes. Yes, because how else am I going to run down the complete card and just say, oh, this guy here, this guy here, this guy here, this guy here. Oh, this guy's gonna. No, these are legitimate notes, and it only took one sheet of paper, folks. One sheet of paper. And it's like I said in the first episode, I don't usually script my stuff, but I really don't. I do everything in one take. This is all in one take that I'm doing right here. And right now we're in close to 18 minutes of me just blabbing without a script, without cue cards. The only thing I'm going to be looking at is the match lineup that I have. So, with that in mind, we're going to get out to the low card, to mid card, and um, to the main events that are going to be scheduled for the Money in the Bank pay-per-view. Starting off with Big E Langston taking on Rusev, new Russian competitor, who's making quite a name for himself since his arrival. And I got to tell you, this guy is pretty badass. But Big E's pretty cool. Pretty cool too. And you don't want to underestimate the power of Big E as well. I mean, these are two big men, and but Rusev is quite of a big powerhouse himself. So, my prediction is going to be Rusev. Nothing against Big E Langston. I think he's going to do. He's going to put on a tremendous match against Rusev, and this is fans are actually interested in this match. So I'm really looking forward to seeing what's going to happen between when these two men lock up. But I think in the end, Rusev is going to take the upper hand on this one. I really do. There's actually going to be two Divas matches. One of them is Summer Rae taking on Layla with special referee Fandango. That's going to be a pretty interesting concept because, as you well know, Fandango has been hanging around with Layla as of late, and Summer Rae was kicked to the curb by Fandango. So there could be some sort of favoritism going on in this match, and I believe that Summer Rae will get screwed over in this match, and your winner will be Layla. So that is my prediction. As a matter of fact, the Big E versus Rusev and the Summer Rae versus Layla were the two matches that just been recently signed. This is by far the complete card that I'm predicting on to you at this very moment. Um, but yeah, I believe that Summer Rae is going to get screwed over, and Layla is going to be victorious. Um, Next is going to be the tag title match. Um, Tag team champions, the Usos, will be taking on Eric Rowan and Luke Harper from the Wyatt family. And this is going to be a pretty good match. Even the build up is pretty amazing. The build up for this has been pretty amazing. And we're going to be looking at some new tag team champions with Eric Rowan and Luke Harper. So they've been, they, I believe it's their time to become tag champions. I think that's what's going to happen. I think we're going to be seeing that, and I really do believe that things can that this is going to be one hell of a match, and um, a lot of underdogs are going to be winning this match, winning on the pay per view. So we're going to be seeing a lot of, and so that's the prediction. That's the prediction that I think that's what's going to happen. So yeah, Rowan and Harper are going to be the new WWE Tag Team Champions, and that's going to be a very good match. Rybaxel, um, that consists of Ryback and Curtis Axel, will be taking on the team of Goldust and Stardust, the Dust Brothers. I don't know. Stardust, he reminds me of that Nintendo game, Pro Wrestling. And the wrestler I'm referring to as Starman, one of my favorite wrestlers that I've always played with. Back when they were on, back when that game was pretty awesome. I love that game, and I always picked Starman. I always did. Starman was awesome, and that's who we were. That's who Stardust reminds me of. He reminds me of Starman, and it's pretty cool. And after me saying that, I dare you to look up the NES game Pro Wrestling, and look up Starman, and post a meme on that. I would love to see that. If you don't, I will. So, um, Goldust and Stardust, my prediction, are going to win. They're going to beat Rybaxel. I think that is going to be a pretty good tag match. On the road to tag team titles. I really do think so. The other Divas match is going to be Naomi taking on WWE Divas Champion Paige, and I don't know about this one. I really don't know about this one. Naomi is young, she's fresh as well. Paige, she came out after WrestleMania and to become Divas champion, and she had a pretty amazing match against Alicia Fox. Um, and Naomi, she's been around for quite some time. Um, it could actually go either way. But if I had to make an honest decision, Paige, I think, is going to retain the championship. I really do. So we'll see if she turns the page. If you know that's actually her finisher, it's called the page turner. So, but but yeah, Paige will be victorious on this one. Now, double main event, starting with the Money in the Bank briefcase. The Money in the Bank briefcase. Um, the participants: Seth Rollins, Dean Ambrose, Rob Van Dam, Kofi Kingston, Bad News Barrett, Jack Swagger, and Dolph Ziggler. Now, going back to Bad News Barrett, there was a report that he suffered an injury during at a house show, and during a match that he had at a house show, and I'm not sure if he's going to be able to make it for this ladder match. If he does, I'll be surprised. Um, but if you thought that Wade Barrett was going to walk out with the briefcase, I'm afraid I have some bad news because he's not my prediction for this Money in the Bank briefcase match. Um, my pick is Seth Rollins. And Dean Ambrose is going to be up on the ladder with him, and there's going to be a lot of stuff that's going to go down. And Dean Ambrose is going to fall short, and Seth Rollins is going to steal the victory. And he is my prediction for this match, for the briefcase, to claim the Money in the Bank briefcase. So this is going to be a very interesting match, and I love these Money in the Bank ladder matches. But it kind of sucks that they base it off of its own pay per view. That the match they based it on has its own pay per view. I think that they should have kept it as a WrestleMania tradition because I think it was pretty awesome. Because you can only go so far with this pay per view. They could have easily called this something else, or bring back King of the Ring or whatever. But this briefcase match is pretty awesome, and I love this type of match. And I love ladder matches. I think they're pretty awesome. So, but Seth Rollins, as I said, is going to steal the victory and become the Mr. Money in the Bank. And that's something that we're going to be looking at. Keep that in mind. But keep your eye out for Bad News Barrett. He may be there. He may show up at the pay-per-view, but he may not. But if he doesn't, I would find out. I would see if there's going to be a replacement. Never know. They got plenty of talent that could be in that match. So after when they got rid of like 9 people, they got rid of. I was like, yeah. A lot of them to me, made a lot of sense because they weren't really marketing them. But the ones that they did keep, I think that they would would be pretty interesting to see who if Wade Barrett does not show up. I would love to see who he is replaced by. I really do. So, but Seth Rollins is going to walk out the winner. Now on to the other ladder match of the evening. Is going to be a WWE World Heavyweight Championship title ladder match. And the participants are Antonio Cesaro, Sheamus, John Cena, Randy Orton, Kane, Bray Wyatt, Alberto Del Rio, and Roman Reigns. Now, before I give out my prediction, here's a lot of predictions I've been hearing. My buddy John Stone, who's a Wrestling Prime alumni, recently added Wrestling Prime alumni. For those of you who don't know what Wrestling Prime is, that was this wrestling show I used to do back in the day, and which was the most talked about show on cable access, and the most infamous moment coming out from that, which everyone still talks about to this day, was in 2000. This dome went through a wall during a match on live television. So, and it happened in a studio. So, I would love to put that on video, because that was a landmark moment. It really was. But it's something to really take a look at. So, but anyways, he predicted that John Cena was going to win, and that Brock Lesnar was going to face John Cena at SummerSlam. That has a pretty, that prediction's pretty cool. That I will, but then again, do I really need to see another John Cena Brock Lesnar match after I was disappointed at their match that they had at Extreme Rules? It's crazy. It's crazy, but I mean that is a pretty good prediction. But I really don't want to see that, because the fact that John Cena went over on Brock Lesnar at Extreme Rules was ridiculous. And I have nothing against John Cena. He's a really cool competitor in the ring. He really is. But he took a massive beat. He really did took a massive beating against Brock Lesnar at Extreme Rules. I believe it was 2 years ago, last year or 2 years ago, and 2 years ago, and it was ridiculous. It was crazy. I mean, Brock Lesnar carried that match. If you look at it, he really carried that match, and I was disappointed that John Cena claimed victory over Brock Lesnar. I was like, what the hell? I was kind of pissed off about it. So, but because a lot of us went with Brock Lesnar, and you can't really mess with guy who conquered the streak at WrestleMania. And I know you're going to probably say is that, oh, you lied. You said you weren't going to bring it up. Well, I did say that, but hey, cat's out of the bag. But anyways, you already knew that, because you always hear it from Paul Heyman each and every week on Monday Night Raw. I'm Paul Heyman, and my client Brock Lesnar conquered the streak at WrestleMania. And he's going to do that again at the Money in the Bank pay-per-view as soon as Antonio Cesaro. He's going to make it all about himself, and then he's going to turn it over to Cesaro, the King of Swing. Sounds like he just won Dancing with the Stars. I mean, really? But a lot of other now I had many predictions leading up to my official prediction of this match. And one of the predictions I brought up was that there was going to be two winners. There was going to be two winners because of the fact that the WWE belts are now dual belts. Um, my original prediction that Roman Reigns was going to capture one of them and Randy Orton was going to capture the other. Um, I wouldn't be surprised if that did happen because if Roman gets one of the if that does happen and Reigns actually gets that one of the belts, I wouldn't be surprised if Rollins came down, cashed in the briefcase, screwed Rollins over, and claimed victory, and you would see both Randy Orton and Seth Rollins as Evolution members claiming victory over to dominate Money in the Bank. It could possibly happen. It could happen. Another possibility, same scenario, but Seth Rollins screws Randy Orton, and the Shield reunites and captures both belts. Ultimate 180 that no one would ever expected. That was my other prediction. My other prediction is um that no one cashes in the briefcase. Roman Reigns wins the title. Cesaro wins the other, and they do the draft again. They bring back the supplemental draft, and they they actually have Raw versus SmackDown like they once had, which I thought that was a pretty cool concept, and it kind of sad that we don't see that anymore. I want to have a brand competition like they used to do. I think that was amazing because you don't see that pay per view bragging rights anymore because that was a Raw versus SmackDown event, and that was a pretty cool concept. I love stuff like that, and split brands and make it competitive like it once was after the Attitude Era. I love that. I love that. But my official prediction is that Roman Reigns captures the both belts and Seth Rollins comes out, cashes in the briefcase after as my prediction of the last match, and steals victory over a beat up Roman Reigns to become champion. It could happen. It could really, really happen. And then there's your main event. There's your main event for SummerSlam. I would love to see that match happen. I really would. But a lot of possibilities. But that is my official prediction. Roman Reigns be the champion, and Rollins comes out, cashes in the briefcase. That is my prediction. That is my prediction. So, but yeah, this is going to be a pretty interesting pay per view, and I really hope that you all don't miss it either, because if you did, it's going to be horrendous on you. Because Money in the Bank pay per views are so spectacular, and they don't not fail at all. They always bring out a really good pay per view. They really do, and they're going to be having a marathon of that. They're going to be having a marathon of that tomorrow. Have some of the Money in the Bank pay per views on before the big one. It's going to be a very um, interesting pay per view, and it's going to be a lot of fun. So, but if you haven't ordered the WWE Network, you're missing out on a lot. You really are. And there's going to be there is also a notice going around that there's going to be a survey coming out. Um, they do one. They're going to be doing one every 6 months. Just to see what you like and what you want to see on the network. To me, I personally would like to see Saturday night's main event on there. But I from what I understand, from what I heard, it is going to be on there. So I would love to see that. I think that would be really great because those were so great to watch back in the day, and especially the moment with Hulk Hogan and Macho Man and their little build up for a WrestleMania match. That was spectacular. That really was spectacular. Um, but I also like to see primetime wrestling on there. Primetime wrestling was actually a pretty good show at one time, and I really I really want to see that show again because it was on a Monday. It was on a Monday night, and it was like a round. They did like roundtable discussions and shit like that, um, and after that, it became Monday Night Raw. So yeah, that's a little bit of history. And I'm waiting for the Monday Night Wars to kick on because I heard that show is going to be phenomenal. So that's going to be pretty cool. Um, so um, so yeah, there you have it. Your Money in the Bank predictions. And like I said, post your predictions on the bottom there. I would love to hear from you. Just post it right there on the bottom there, right there. See, right there, right there. But also take your time to hit that subscribe button right over here, right on this corner. Oh, what's going to be this week? What are you making me touch? You be the judge. You decide. You can get away with that stuff. I can't. I really can't. So, Loot Crate! They unveiled the new Loot Crate for the month of July. The theme is villains. So I hope you subscribe to your Loot Crate because you never know what villain is going to be in there. Something to really look at. Buddy of mine, my buddy John, actually mentioned that they should do a wrestling themed Loot Crate box, and I happen to agree with them. I think they should. I really do. Um, Question is, would Loot Crate do something like that? And you know what? If anybody from Loot Crate is watching, make it happen. Make it that uh a special month. They could have easily done that crate in time for WrestleMania. They really could have. I think that would be really cool crate to have. A lot of WrestleMania stuff put on there. I think, hey, it would bring in a lot of subscribers. It really would. So, something to look up, something to look at. I think that would be pretty cool. But but yeah. Anyways, we're actually going to cut this show a little bit short this week because there's really not much to talk about other than the fact that Transformers is actually kicking ass in the box office. Congratulations! And all the other crap that I mentioned. Oh yeah. Before I do go, there was a conversation going on that involved Rihanna, and apparently she did not. She was choosing a team for the World Cup. For the FIFA World Cup tournament. She a lot of fans were a lot of people were pissed off that the fact that she didn't pick you that she's not rooting for USA. Does it really fucking matter what team she's voting for? If she has a favorite team that she wants to go with, does it really matter? Me, I don't watch soccer, so I'm not jumping on the bandwagon and saying, "Hey, go USA" or um go Spain, go Brazil, or everything like that. I'm not doing that. I mean, hey, I'm glad that the US is actually doing pretty good for themselves, even though they lost to Germany the other day. Um, they, hey, I wish them the best of luck. I really do. Do I have a favorite team in World Cup soccer? No, I do not, because I do not watch soccer. The only football I do watch is when it comes out this fall on the NFL. I'm not being dick about it, but I mean, I know there's a lot of soccer fans out there, but hey, you know, to me, I don't think soccer appeals to me. I have to be enthused by it. I have to be I have to be interested in it, and it's a good it's a good game, and it's a good sport and everything like that. But hey, you know, and it's a very popular sport, but I don't understand, so I can't really comment about it other than the fact that I will not watch it. So, but all this talk about soccer as of late, about that one soccer player who bit the other guy. See, I mentioned a soccer player, but I didn't mention the guy's name because I don't know the guy's name who bit the other player, and he has done it repeatedly, and it has been making news, but I forgot the guy's name. But the only way I know about David Beckham is that the fact that he married a Spice Girl. So so and then you got Pele, who was also another soccer player, but I don't know him. I don't I don't really know what team he plays for or anything. Beckham, I know that I knew he was playing for England. That's all I know. But other than that, I'm not a fan of it. I'm just not. But I know I will watch it if I feel interested into watching it. But other than that, I will not watch it. I'm sorry, but that's my opinion. That's my opinion. But it's some that's all. That's all. But 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 does it really matter what team Rihanna likes? I mean, really? I mean, that's her choice. That is her choice. If she feels that's the team that she's going for, then that's the team who she's going for. You don't have to make a big deal about it just because it's not your team. And I noticed that a lot of people have been jumping on the bandwagon because the United States are, for the first time in a long time, have been doing very good in FIFA. So, you know what? Everyone who's jumping on that bandwagon better stop that shit because you know what? It's not impressive. It's like, just because the U.S. is doing good, you suddenly know everything there is to know about soccer. Well, good for you, but to me, I'm staying neutral because of the fact that I'm not a fan of soccer. I will watch it if I'm interested, like I said. So I'm not making a big deal about it. I like I said, I hope USA um does win the World Cup. That would be pretty cool. Go USA. But other than that, I don't have a favorite team. I really don't. I don't have a favorite team, and nor do I care to have a favorite team. So I'm more interested in watching the Yankees this year because of the fact that Derek Jeter is going to be that this is his last year, and you know what? I hope that he gets one more ring before we get to say happy trails to him. So I would like to see one more ring on Derek Jeter's finger. I really do. And NFL the NFL is coming up pretty soon within a few months. Exhibition's going to start, and hey, my prediction. Hey, another prediction. Giants are going to take it this year. But then again, who knows? Anything can happen between now and then. So maybe my prediction will change as time goes on. But at the same time, I'm sticking with the Giants. And on that note, this is your friendly neighborhood Tomdog thanking you for allowing me into your home and enjoying some time with you, my brilliant fans, on this wonderful, exciting journey that is the real Channel X. And we'll see you next time. Until then, this is Tom Dog saying take care, so long,